Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about how to identify quality orders on DoorDash quickly. So as I constantly say on this channel, 80% of the money is coming from 20% of the cause, and the cause on DoorDash is quality customers who either tip as they're supposed to or generously, which is why most people are sporting around a 20% acceptance rate. With that said, in an attempt to help you make the most amount of money on DoorDash as possible, I am going over how to identify quality orders on DoorDash quickly. But before we do any of that, let's go over a disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be, legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before you apply anything you find online. I also want to be clear that we are not going over anything in regards to the high pay order program or the concept of multi-apping, because the strategies for those two concepts are very different from that of using DoorDash on its own and understanding the platform itself, which is why they're going to be addressed in separate videos. This video is to help build a foundational understanding of what you need to look for when identifying quality orders. Also, this video was requested by Tim. Tim, thank you so much for the video request and making this video possible. If you also want to request a video, you are free to comment below. I might see it, or you can email me about it and I will do my best to make a video about that. So before we go into the actual identification of quality orders, there are 7 things you must understand first. Acceptance screen components. When you receive an order, you are going to see the option to accept or decline an order, and you need to know the certain components and how they work specifically. The components I am talking about are guarantee pay, mileage, item count, restaurant, and suggested route. The components that I listed are in the order of its importance in my opinion. The DoorDash pay model. DoorDash pay model that governs the orders you receive is made up of 3 major components: base pay, promos, and customer tip. There are a couple things that go into your pay, but that being said, they don't actually affect the accept screen. And if you need to know a little bit more about the DoorDash pay model, I made a video talking all about that. I'll leave it in the description. Feel free to check it out. The hidden tip algorithm. So as we all know, DoorDash loves to manipulate drivers into taking bad orders and forcing them to play a game of figuring out if the customer actually tipped as well as they should have or not. This forces longer wait times for quality customers and causes a discourse between drivers and customers overall. Honestly, the concept itself is a lot to go into this video, and it's probably going to run really long. So I'm going to leave a video talking all about the hidden tips on DoorDash in the description. Feel free to check that out as well. Active promos. So this doesn't always apply, but as we've stated, part of the DoorDash pay model is the promo pay, otherwise known as peak pay, and sometimes it does come into play when there's harsh weather or just a desperate need for DoorDash drivers in a specific area at a specific time. But that said, it actually does affect the identification process of identifying quality orders because there is a peak pay in general. What used to be as simple as, oh, if it's $7 or $8 an order, it can actually be a really good order, is not actually the case anymore because there's dollar peak pay, and because there's a dollar peak pay, you need to adjust for that. Not doing this at advance can actually cause an opportunity cost and even cause you to take orders you normally wouldn't, which are usually from customers who rate their drivers poorly, because it's already been proven that those who tip poorly are also rating poorly. That can cause damage to your account and even bring you closer to deactivation. The rule of thumb for peak pay, in my opinion, is peak pay should make good orders great, not bad orders tolerable. Zone location. Where are the best areas in your zone that you like the most? Are they in the middle of your area? Are they on the edge or even the corner of your area? Do those orders tend to lead to customers outside of your zone? Keep in mind, by the way, if you actually take an order that drags you outside of your zone, the chances of you missing out on more orders is actually higher. If you're towards the center of your zone, the chances of this is actually very low, but make sure you don't go too too far outside of your zone. Because the further you get dragged out, the longer it's going to take for you to get back. And while you're on your way back, you're probably not going to get as many orders as you would if you were just driving all around your area. So make sure you keep a strong idea in your mind where your zones are from beginning to end. When you're on this road, the zone ends, or whatever that looks like for you. Your area and restaurants. Some restaurants do better on DoorDash than others, and because of that, you need to know some things about those restaurants that most people just don't know offhand. Do the customers that order from these restaurants go through DoorDash, or do they go through the restaurant's main website and then they outsource it to DoorDash? Do these restaurants have special deals for customers that look like it's one item, but at the end of the day consist of multiple items, which lead to better tips? How often do these bundle deals get sold to quality customers as opposed to your everyday non-tipper? Are sauces considered extra items, or do they just include that upon request? How long does it take for these restaurants to do their jobs? How do these restaurants actually treat gig workers and their customers in terms of priority and respect? You need to be able to answer those type of questions effectively and quickly, because the answers to those questions don't just determine the quality of the order, but the quality of the restaurant itself, as well as the integrity and character of the people who work there. Not knowing the answer to this can lead to long wait times, disrespectful behavior, and overall just a bad experience for you. All for the price of one $10 order. Now, of course, there is going to be somebody in the comments saying that you can't determine something like that without experiencing it. Yes, but that's why you keep an ongoing no-go list, but that's for another video. Your standards for quality orders. Look, you need to identify what the standards you have for quality orders right off the bat. What is your minimum payout for the orders you're willing to accept? What is the minimum dollars to mile ratio for the orders that you will tolerate? Is the restaurant a restaurant you're willing to go to for the payout presented, or have they demonstrated such a poor behavior that you upped that standard a bit for them specifically? Now, you gotta be careful with that last one, because quite frankly, if you do that, you're gonna confuse yourself in the process. But again, the no-go list is for a different video. Does the order end at a destination you're willing to drive to, whether it's outside of your zone or in your zone, and it's just not a good part of town? You need to be able to determine all of those questions for yourself quickly, and if you determine those standards beforehand, you will be able to make those determinations at a glance. Now, I know some people are probably yelling things about, what about time of day? Like lunch rush and dinner rush. Again, this is for foundational understanding for identifying quality orders, not for constant adjusting for time of day, working with other apps and other programs, adjusting for a no-go list, etc. Once we get the foundation right, all of those other factors will be much easier to understand, and getting better on the platform will be a cinch. So let's get the fundamentals down, and then in another video we can adjust for certain factors like that. Now let's talk about identifying quality orders on DoorDash. Like I said, when you receive an order, you're going to need to train your eyes to look for the necessary components right away. You should be able to see the payout first, then the mileage, then the item count, then the restaurant name itself and whether or not that's a restaurant you want to go to. And only after that, you should pay attention to the suggested route and where it leads. Looking at all of these data points quickly and efficiently will take time, and in most cases will lead to being able to identify quality orders at a mere glance. It may take some practice and first-hand experience at first, but most people should be able to pick it up in little to no time at all. It may seem like it's a lot to keep in mind, but it will almost become second nature through experience. Now, if all of the points in question are positive or tolerable in your eyes, then you can be sure that the order is quality, and assuming that you set your standards properly, you know what the best orders in your area look like. Now, one last thing I do have to say about this concept. If you are genuinely happy with dashing the way you are right now, there's no need to change how you are operating. If you are happy with the way you are dashing right now and you are satisfied with your earnings up to this point, there's no real need for you to change anything. This video is meant for people who are looking to become better dashers or are brand new Dashers, and they're just not satisfied with taking whatever comes their way. But like I said, if you're happy as you are, don't feel a need to change anything because you saw some pompous tool on YouTube talk about it. Your happiness and longevity on the platform is what really matters, and who am I to tell you how to be? So for those of you who are genuinely looking for this type of content, I really hope it helped, and I wish I had this when I got started on DoorDash because it would have made the learning process a lot easier for me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!